We good? I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. Okay, cool. Well, hello everyone and welcome to today's Vampire the Masquerade stream. Uh, yeah, we are Quill Knight Productions, and yeah, we're gonna do some tabletop role playing stuff and some actual plays and whatnot. First things first, we are playing Vampire the Masquerade, 5th edition. So keep in mind this is a darker story that we're going to be telling here today. There's going to be a kind of a little bit of a lengthy content warning. It is a very edgy game. It's focused on political intrigue, a little bit of comment and some really dark elements about exploring what it's like to slowly watch yourself become a monster. So, content warning is as follows: violence, gore, abuse, kidnapping, mind control, Machiavellianism, mutilation, removal of personal agency, drug use, slight homophobia and sexism, and a couple other things. Now, remember, this is a dark themed game, so hold it against the characters, not against the players, because we all know how monstrous our characters are. Yeah, I think that covers that. Yeah, if we want to do like a short introduction and then like just a little bit of recap per everyone, we'll start out with Simon.
Why? Anyways, Simon Graham playing Gangrel. This is one of the last time things, or just introduce myself.
Yep, just same as normal.
Okay. Last time on Vampire the Masquerade.
Already made that joke.
Yeah, I did it better. Anyways, last time, we got lost. A nice little labyrinth, you know. Nar lost his eyes, or like took his own eyes out because he's a genius, you know. But I think he got his head on straight now. Sauntered our way out, ran into this little community, ran into this crazy Nosferatu, but I had enough of those at this point. But made notes about a Lydia, a blood witch. Even saying her name freaked him out. She was apparently the enemy of our mayor, related to the cult. So it came back to, but ultimately we decided to leave. And Swamp Man Cthulhu decided to let us go. There was a shit back covered in whatever you call that mucus, viscous material. Left it in, but yeah. After that, we went up to the city again, different place. So that means poor Arthur is probably left alone with the other manhole. But even beside that, I was had to talk to Tony. Up about Jessica's future plans, and I asked him a question about a charm you had. He decided to punch it, and it went boom. He got himself knocked out, and we kind of blew me back too. Then we got everyone's attention. I picked him up. He ran. He decided to tag along, and we managed to find our way into a abandoned house full of druggies, which I scared away. That is all.
All right. We're gonna change up the order a little bit here. Hugh, do you have anything to add?
Let's see. Yeah, we decided to go into the labyrinth, and after about 2 steps into furthering the labyrinth, we decided that was a terrible idea. After Tony decided to go commit something and injured himself, and Anir lost his eyeballs, so we were like, we should probably leave before things get worse, somehow. So we dipped out, we met the fleshy guardian once more. I once again had the unnerving feeling that they want my body. And I asked him, despite my better judgment, if there was a shortcut out of here, because I decided I didn't want to have a PTSD-induced meltdown, due to the fact that I'm still carrying 2 pounds of C4 on my body. Probably a bad idea. I managed to ask him that. He told us, here's a shortcut. took the shortcut through miles and miles of poo. And on the other side, we got told by Tony Jr., who had become a loudspeaker at this point, that we can't go back the way we came. I told Crimson to keep that fucking thing covered up, because if it can speak, it's probably watching all of us. At this point, it was getting kind of late in the evening. We decided to leave. Simon and Tony decided to go one way. Me, you, and Near one another. Colton did whatever Colton does. Then as I was walking away, Crimson, we heard the loud explosion, and it turned out Tony mashed the amulet and caused what was the equivalent of a minor gas leak explosion. Simon picked him up, started running, I ran after him. Now we're hiding out in a crack house. I'm
Makes
sorry,
sense.
crack apartment.
Semantics.
Crack home. It's not a crack house, it's a crack home.
Make this crack house a
Semantics.
crack home.
Oh my god.
Home is where the pipe is. But yeah, that's all I got.
More ways to one.
All right. Crimson.
Crimson Rose, Clan Toreador. Like the others have stated, we got out of the labyrinth, albeit a gross way. And as we got back up to the city, Crimson was immediately called by Tim. He sounded very frantic, saying that I needed to get back as soon as possible. So I, as he said, Hugh, me, and Anar were on our way there, but then we heard an explosion. And Crimson didn't have any time to stop. So she let Hugh go on his own, and she lugged Anar towards her club. But on the way there, I called his ghoul, I believe, to come and get him from my club. And when I got there, I found that the place was trash. There was police everywhere. Still no clue who did it, but...
All right. Anar, do you have anything else to add, Anar?
Yeah, so Anar Navi, Clan Malkavian. As others have noted, I am absent eyes at this point, but Anar spent quite a bit of the session exploring his other senses and noticing that some of his powers of foresight appear to be enhanced with the lack of vision. So as we were leaving the labyrinth, there were encounters, visions that I had, sensing presences coming towards us. So it seems that by removing one sense, it heightened many of Anar's other senses, and maybe even his sixth sense for that fact. I think pretty much everything else was covered. My ghoul Sven was notified to come to Crimson's Club and collect me. And other than that, I think we're ready to jump in.
All right. We open our perspective to the faint blue of the coming sun over the city of Chicago. As the night slowly recedes from the city, early risers begin their commutes, party-goers begin to wind down from their benders. Our perspective continues to descend as we go to the derelict apartment complex, shadows casting long as illumination bleeds in from the broken window to the street, from the street. All of the graffiti and refuse scattered about, needles, bottles, broken glass, gunshot holes in the sides of the walls, crumbling infrastructure, the scent of mold hanging low in the air. As our perspective goes to Tony, his eyes open but vacant, sitting against the wall limply, as he seems almost like in a trance, catatonic, a torpor. as our perspective kind of moves back from that. Simon and Hugh, what are you two doing?
Time to talk, Hugh. Where did you get that from?
Simon, we have bigger fish to fry right now, and I'm not gonna
You
have
don't
a
have
conversation.
time for this nonsense.
I'm not talking to you about the fucking amulet unless Tony's awake. It's his business.
I can just kill you right now.
Fucking do it,
You're
man.
not- Don't tempt me with a good time.
I'm gonna go, like, kind of see how Tony's doing. Maybe,
I'll
like, lay
stop
him
him.
down instead of up against a wall.
Yeah, as you do. You're kind of like looking him over, right? I'll
Mhm.
take an You're taking your time, I take it.
Yeah, I'll take my time.
Intelligence medicine or intelligence occult?
Right? See.
Let me know which one you decide.
I'll do intelligence occult. Because I have better roll on that.
That's fine. Just know the result and the information gleaned will be different. With 2 successes, what you notice is he is in torpor. Now, under normal circumstances, I mean, you know that his wife was. You are aware of what happened, right? Hugh yourself is aware. I don't remember if you were actually briefed on the exact details of what actually happened.
I wasn't briefed on the exact details, no, because I never meant to pry into Tony's life that hard.
Okay, so what you can tell is that just superficially, feeling around, like investigating, it seems like it was like a burst of kinetic energy that seemed to do the damage to him. But as you look at the blood, it seems almost more runny than normal. It's almost like the richness and the potency maybe of the blood around. It's kind of not holding as much cohesion. Something magically dissipated within that amulet, and now it seems that the vitae that was in the red kind of gem, when that dissipated, that shockwave must have also affected those around directly. And now for some reason the vitae, the blood, seems to be more watery almost. It doesn't have the same thickness.
Simon, are you bleeding from anywhere?
Would I be? Storyteller?
Yeah, you were based on some of the scuffles that you've been in. But you're not sure. I mean, if you check, yeah, you have some wounds because I think you were hit a little bit in the sewers, right?
No, I got blown back by the blast. I didn't.
Then no, I don't think you don't seem to be bleeding at all.
I'm fine.
Why?
Well, I'm not the one who punched the thing.
I'm gonna turn around and be like, why? Why do you ask, Simon? Because Tony's not in a good state right now, and we should probably call Crimson and get a lift or something.
I have an idea.
Does it involve killing somebody?
No. You won't like it.
That probably won't go along with it, but go for it. Tell me your plan.
Family. Tony's.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Family. Tony's family.
I hate to inform you of this, but I think they've already moved on and gone to meet the choir invisible.
You don't know anything. No, he has a relative in this city now.
Why
Guess
don't
what?
we... Oh, God.
I think you met him. Remember Balaclava guy? The hunter?
We're not calling your hunter friend, Simon.
Don't get a choice in the matter.
We can literally have a choice in the matter by calling Crimson.
Where is Crimson? Nisha, why didn't she come back with you?
Because she has her own life and her own business to deal with.
And now you're telling me to fuck that. Call her anyway. Involve her in this business. She has her own
Yeah,
life.
because maybe she already handled her business. I didn't know what was going on. We were a bit short on time. So instead, you want to call Mr. Baklava dude who may or may not want to actually kill all of us.
He wants to help Tony. You already had a chance to kill him if you wanted to. Frankly,
I'm just
you
gonna
guys
stare
were-
at Simon in disbelief. Just completely just like, what the fuck are you on about?
I'm the crazy one? Really? You rather listen to an old fuck stuck in World War II dealing with fresh crafting, and you think I'm crazy for dealing with people with guns? Are you vampires really just fucking delusional?
Oh no, I have one polite conversation as a vampire and it all suddenly breaks down. No, what is the world gonna do? Why don't I just call somebody who wants to come fucking kill me and all my friends again and see how it fucking works out? Didn't Tony break his fucking word with them?
Activate feral weapons.
Hugh, what does this look like, Simon?
As I'm staring at him, nails would just be glowing. Just be growing. I already have the eyes of the beast activated.
Yeah. So you'd see those red glowing eyes from behind his sunglasses, and you'd see his fingers elongate into bladed claws.
Go on, Hugh.
I'm gonna call Crimson or Celine or literally anybody who doesn't want to kill all of us. Because, again, didn't Tony break his word with those dudes or something?
Is this asked to me or to Simon?
I'm gonna ask that to Simon.
Okay.
Oh,
Simon, what you would know is that you did go against the deal that you had clarified, and they are not happy about it.
if we were to talk to him, things would be different. Either way, we run out of time in regards to that. So I'd rather nip the problem in the bud than constantly stall on it.
If you
Trust
guys
me.
remember that scene from The Princess Bride where they're in like the swamp or whatever, and he's like, "It's not that bad in summer," and she looks at him like he's just the biggest clown in the world. That's what I'm probably looking at Simon like.
On that note, we're going to switch perspectives briefly. Broken glass gleams from all over the floor and all over countertops, pretending for the night, or what remains of it, that they are diamonds cast about the expensive flooring of the decadent hall of the club. The otherwise lurid red lights are kind of drowned out by the bright fluorescent light that casts like heavy silver, almost industrial light down upon what was normally a club swathed in shadow. It seems that as these faux diamonds, once panes of glass, kind of litter the floor, you'd see the slashed canvases of what was once great art. Some of them sprayed with either green, yellow, a lot of them yellow paint, vandalizing all the pieces that were there. Like I said, it appeared that someone had tried to set a fire by throwing an improvised Molotov cocktail upon the curtains. Seems like it was quickly put out, but the damage will be expensive. Crimson, what are you doing?
Currently in my office pacing. I can imagine my ghoul came up with me.
Yeah, Iris is kind of quietly holding her clipboard close to her chest, kind of watching you.
What did you
Watching
see?
you pace. I was up here when the attack happened.
You saw nothing.
I didn't want to. I tried to look. They were all wearing hoods or.
I walked up to her and like stroked her hair. I was like, "It's okay. I'm not blaming you or upset at you. Just want to know if you know anything."
What if
Hoods? Anything
what if-
specific?
What if Ballard or Tim takes it out on me?
I'm not gonna let that happen.
But what if they do?
They're gonna take it out on me, not you.
You see,
I
she kind
promise
of.
you, I'm not. That's not gonna happen again.
She's like nervously avoiding your eyes.
Look at me, Iris.
Slowly, she eventually does meet your gaze.
Staring daggers into her. I'm not gonna let that happen again.
Roll me a charisma persuasion. Or I think that is persuasion is. Yep. I get bungled in my head sometimes between D&D and vampire. Four successes. And your intent was to try to comfort her, right?
Mm-hmm.
She kind of blinks away what you think is a tear. They seem just like
Have
gangsters.
they said or done anything to you?
They were yelling and screaming.
I will
No.
deal with them, okay? I promise. And then I'll plant a kiss on her forehead and go to my desk and sit down and call Ballard.
The line rings. There is no response.
God fucking damn it. Stand up, slamming my hands on the desk.
I was gonna
about
say the
to go.
moment kind of sits with you for a
Yeah.
moment. And then you stand up and sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good. About to go ask Tim if he knows anything.
As you slam your hands on the desk, you hear a knock on the door.
Come in.
Tim walks in. He's wearing his kind of cargo pants, where like that are kind of a storm gray, a black windbreaker and a black polo tucked into what seems to be a tactical belt. You can see the outline roughly of a shoulder rig on the inside of his windbreaker, and he looks at you. He's scrolling on what seems to be a touchscreen phone, and you haven't seen him use a touchscreen phone yet.
Mhm.
Usually, he uses burner flip phones, and he comes up to you and he says, "Well, our servers got hacked too." So, whoever did this, they knew what they were doing. These hoodlums, you can find them
Clearly.
anywhere. And we had some defenses, but
You heard from Ballard?
yeah, I've been talking to his representative.
Have you heard from him?
I doubt we will for a while. What you need to understand, Crimson, is that We're cogs to Ballard. We're just one part in his machine. And I doubt, with heightening tensions, that we're going to be a priority.
Well, even machines wear down and break.
I know. And he blinks a couple of times. So,
You haven't gotten anything else?
I'll see if I can get some backups. I kind of doubt it. Like I said, whoever did this is a expert in cyber attacks. As far as to what end, I don't know how bad it gets. My guess.
The real question is this an attack on Ballard or is it an attack on me?
It's a good question. Who have you pissed off? Anything you want to tell me? Now remember, I do answer to Ballard, but my interest is protecting you and his assets here. So before you tell me anything, keep that in mind, that my interest is ensuring your safety. The club is secondary to that. So I need you to be very clear with me if you've pissed off anyone I need to know about. He puts away the phone and he pulls out a notepad.
You hear the name Jessica?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You think it was her?
No. I don't know. I just know she doesn't like me.
Anyone else? Tell you what, I'll have you think on it. Since
There's
I know...
Damien and Marcus. Veronica.
You see, he looks at you dismissively.
Obviously.
Look, I understand. I'm representative from Ballard. You might not be as happy about the deal. I get it. I would be careful what you tell me too. So I'm going to give you some time to think. But
Alright,
listen,
then.
you can't be away from your phone. That's the lesson here. I was trying to reach you for a while.
Can't say you get good service in a sewer.
That's my point. And it's at that point that your phone rings. Hugh, you did say that you were calling Crimson, right?
Yes.
Crimson will like pick it up, be like, huh. Like wave it in
We'll be
his face
stopping
and
this.
flip it open and
Tim.
still
Well,
staring at Tim.
Tim would just leave. Silence. Oh.
Crimson, please, for the love of God, tell me things are going better on your end.
Yeah, things are great over here, Hugh.
Okay.
What the fuck is going on? What was all that?
Yeah, turns out Tony decided to kinda do blood magic in a way and smash the amulet.
Now, Crimson, I
Amulet?
don't think. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think you were.
As I'm talking, I'm walking down to the basement where Nar would be to check and see if like that all got caught up and dealt with. Assuming Iris is following me.
Yeah, Iris is following you. Anar, we're gonna take a moment before we get to you two, the phone conversation. Anar, as you're downstairs in this basement, what's your instinct to do?
At this point, Anar would actually be taking like a moment of rest if he could. So with the sleeve that Crimson had given that is covering, his empty eye sockets, he would probably have pulled that down and with his fingers, trying to clear any wet blood away and just almost tidying himself up a little bit. But as he does, like, I'm in the interrogation room, I think, which was below the club.
Yep.
So like after Anar's kind of tidied himself up, he would actually like be attempting to like use sense the unseen and to like try to look above him and see if there are things that he can perceive.
Yeah, roll me a wits aspects and sense the unseen. Yeah. Go ahead and make me that roll. Whew, okay. So are you trying to reach out with any specific interest?
He knows that that the club has been, damaged and vandalized. So at this point, it's more of like almost an exploration of like, with his sight being removed, like he's done this before. He's sensed Nosferatus and been able to see them. So it's sort of just this general exploration of the space above him to see what he can perceive.
So at first it's nothing, right? It's just more empty until you think about shutting off your ears. You shut off your scent. You try to keep your tongue still in your mouth. Try to focus, clear your mind. Almost moving into almost a meditative state. And as you do, you can feel your consciousness push up and up until you can feel. It's like it'd be the equivalent of the supernatural sense of a creak, a footstep. You're not sure what it is, or even if it is anything. But it's almost as if there's that small little hint of a presence, of movement. But it's intangible. It's less of a hearing or feeling and more of a knowing. But it's only for a fraction of a moment.
And Anar has premonitions, which are more of like a foresight. Am I able to tell, like, is this happening, or does this feel like a sense, or does this feel like a vision of something that has happened or will happen?
It is really hard to say.
Okay.
If you had to guess, it feels like something that has happened.
Okay.
But being that you don't have a sense of time, like a sense of sight to perceive what the space in which this feeling happened, it's really hard for you to pin that down. But you think it's as if it's happened in the past. But even then, it's you could be wrong. Mm-hmm. It's kind of nebulous, to say the least. And it's about that time that as you're thinking on this, and as soon as you hear that almost quiver, that creak, it's when you'd hear the actual creak of footsteps that immediately break your state of meditation, of Crimson going downstairs, followed by Iris. You can only assume because you can hear Crimson's voice talking with Hugh. Now, feel free, open roleplay.
Anar would be silent, just
what do you
kind of
need,
like
Hugh?
staring forward and listening.
Mm-hmm.
We could use a lift and a blood bag. Tony's pretty
Where the hell
This
are
moment-
you guys? Are you still in the alley?
Hold on.
I'll take the phone. Take T's
I'm not-
phone.
Wait. Okay. Hugh, would you allow Simon to take the phone?
No,
Not
I'm
about
not gonna
long.
let him take my phone.
Dexterity, athletics, both of you. Simon, you have both of your hands turned into claws. You take it will be a harder check for you, being that it does take fine motor skills to grab.
Rouse the blood then. Didn't I already do that? I don't know.
I don't think it's active for this scene.
No. I'll do it again. The hunger dice?
Yes, 1 hunger dice, please. Okay, you do gain a bit of hunger. You feel Rebecca in the back of your head. A snarl. A wanting of blood. But yeah, roll your dexterity athletics. Hugh, as tragic as it is, as you have been to take a step away, Simon snatches the phone out of your hand. Now, I'm not saying that this is... You could react to this. Because you can definitely sense tensions are rising.
You know what I'm gonna do? Just to make sure he can't talk to nobody? I'm gonna start whistling super fucking loudly. Just continuously. Because that means nobody on the phone can hear shit but that.
Hugh, hello. Oh, what the fuck is that?
One last question, Hugh. During Elysium, who did you talk to?
Could I hear that or no, not over the whistling?
Roll me a wits awareness. Kinda. Not really.
Okay. I'll just stay quiet.
Stop whistling for a second. Draw on a deep breath and keep doing it.
I see. So Tally's your fault. You thought you were being clever, but you weren't. I warned you about Hudson, but you neglected to think. Long term, you want to get jabbed at me, and I look at it. I told you, she uses her potential for everything, and look at you. Thought you winning one on me. Now she sent this guy after us.
I'm gonna squint out and be like, who the fuck is Tally?
I told you. A couple minutes ago, someone's after us.
Crimson, you would hear this.
Cut through the chatter. People after us then, huh?
Send a car, Crimson!
Where are you?
My location's on! You can find me!
God fucking damn. I got... Fine.
You realize that you have a flip phone.
Yeah.
Not a smartphone.
Hugh, I can't do that. Where the hell are you?
I just want to step on a phone.
Would I know approximately where we are, or is it just like I'm in a crack house?
You would break the phone, Simon?
Yep.
Yeah, you would know approximately where you are. I will let you get out a street name. And then you would hear like a crunch.
Tony has a pager on him, yeah?
Yeah.
How do pagers work? Is it like...
To be fair, I don't think any of us know. I don't think any of us actually know.
No. That's a very legit question, okay?
How do you rewind a cassette?
Um.
So it's through email or through a direct pager system.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
You asked.
I know I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, okay, Simon,
Answer the question. I had no interest in anything else.
I literally don't know who Tally is, and you just broke my phone. I don't even know if you have one on you, so how are we even gonna call anybody now?
I have a phone on me.
Oh, thank God. Use it with those claws to call somebody that hopefully doesn't want to kill us.
Pause. Crimson and an R. The phone is disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Did I hear the street name?
Well, yeah,
Romeo
did
Wits-
I?
Romeo Wits Awareness. You did, Crimson.
Mm-hmm.
It's awareness.
Yeah, I would say that you would have, just barely.
So I guess I'm gonna like focus really hard and think of the street name and try an active premonition on it to see if I can glean anything more.
An active premonition.
At,
All right.
at this point, I can also imagine Crimson is
Is
Anar.
what?
in the room with Anar.
Yeah, she is. You do gain hunger.
Gain hunger.
You hear Robert's voice. No, not quite. You're close. You're close. But you just don't understand it yet. You don't feel it yet. You're both an inch and a million miles away. So close, but no vitae to power your mind engine. You need more juice. You gotta get me more juice, Anar.
So like he's hearing it all, but he's trying to like remain
Yeah.
stone faced.
Yeah, this is just the feeling in the back of your
Yeah.
head. It's.
Am I able to attempt the premonition even though I
Of
rolled?
course.
Okay, so here comes the premonition. Roll.
You'll always be able to use a power if you rouse check. Okay. So this is a very important question, and I need both of you to answer honestly. What is your intention, Hugh, in the scenario? What are you feeling? What emotions are running through your head? What thoughts? And if you would like to DM me instead of vocalizing it, that's fine too.
I will DM you.
Okay. The same thing with Simon. If you want to DM me, kind of the sensations that are happening right now, the feelings that are in your intentions, that would be awesome. Apparently, a building is burning down on Simon's Ave. Related, average Chicago evening. That's just there for the ambiance. Okay.
I'm still typing.
Yep. I know.
Can I say while this is happening, I take Tony Jr. off my bed, and in the torture room is there obviously there's the crates that all the weapons came in.
Yeah. You're putting him in the. Sorry, excuse me. You putting him in the crates?
I would empty a crate out of
Yeah.
anything else, and then I would put him in there. Probably put like, I don't know, like a piece of fabric over him, and then like shut it and like bolt it shut so that he can't get out
Okay.
if I'm able.
What is that noise? All right. Okay. I'm gonna wait till these two stop typing. This is a lot. Hold on.
Anar, have you heard from your ghoul yet?
I have not.
He knows where to
Actually-
come, right?
You told him the address, did you not?
Yes, I did. I believe
And
I
I'm
told him to go through the back door too.
Yeah, I'm gonna like dig out the burner phone. Kind of say like, what like the premonition is actually happening right now. So like you probably keep the phone in, because right now he's focusing.
Yeah. So. Okay. So here's what you. What was it? I need to look at what it was again. Okay, 3. I think I have enough information, guys. So you would hear. It would again almost not be working. Then everything fades into darkness. Crimson doesn't exist anymore. Iris doesn't exist anymore. The club, the basement, the interrogation room, the guns, you don't exist anymore. And you hear a tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. And it's that point that you start to see an old grandfather clock with wires that seem to be sparking, fizzling. But like, hold on. Yeah, it seems to be sparkling and fizzling, and almost kind of like colors that don't quite add up. They're like magentas, not like, or pinks or blues or greens. And you see from the center of the grandfather clock, you see blood trickling down. Now, around this grandfather clock, you would see what seems to be a dog. Scars all over its face. Looks like it's been gnarled. It's missing part of its tail. This shaggy, almost feral-looking big sheepdog, kind of resembling loosely a Irish wolfhound, begins to circle this clock, baring its teeth and getting low, ready to pounce. And you can see as this dog begins to get closer, you would see what seems to be an old pocket watch, sadly watching on. It also is ticking, but it's almost like a clock that's running out of batteries. And it's not like the other clock. It's more intricate. It's more of a work of art. And seeing it get damaged, well, in the subsequent powder keg that's about to go off, no pun intended, would also be destroyed. And you know you're running low on time.
So I imagine as this happened, like as the premonition came into focus, like Anar would almost start like the things that you were saying, he would just start saying out to the room almost trance-like. So like the name of the street would be repeated several times. And so like most, like everything that you've heard the storyteller say would be coming out verbatim. And like after the premonition was focused, like Anar would try to like turn his head towards where he heard Crimson's voice and said, "You should go."
As that's happening, I'd turn to Iris, be like, write that down without saying that, because she has her clipboard with her.
Confused, she would toss a couple like pages aside and start scribbling down.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, Anar would pull out the burner phone and just like hold it up and just say, "Dial Sven and leave the line open. I will try to guide him in."
I do it. And then I'll hand the phone back to him.
Yeah, and so it's just there by Anar waiting.
It rings a couple times. Sven answers. Hello, Master. Is this you?
Yes. How close are you?
I'm just a few blocks away.
Make sure you use the back door of the club. There is quite a presence out front.
Understood.
I'm going to leave the line open until you arrive.
Of course.
And with that, like, I'll just be sitting there with the phone.
Yep.
Are you sure you're alright, Anar?
I won't be much use to you out there. I don't have much left in me. But you should hurry. Something is about to be destroyed.
Got it. I'd start walking upstairs, and as I'm talking, I'd tell Iris. Well, I'd keep my phone on me anyway. Call me if anything happened.
Tim looks at you and he immediately is like, where the fuck do you think you're going?
You said keep my phone on me. I'm gonna keep my phone on me. Do you need to babysit me on the line the entire time? Because I can do that.
Do you know what time it is? Sunrise is in less than an hour.
Then can you go?
Go where?
I'd rip the sheet off of Iris's clipboard. Street name.
What is this? What does this even mean? What's this about a clock and a dog?
Street name. That's all you need to know.
That's a big street.
That's all I have.
What's going on?
Can I remember that Simon has a?
Can you remember what?
Simon has a phone on him.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact Tony doesn't. In the scrambled brain of that, she'd pull her phone out and dial Simon.
Now, putting a pin in this scene, because there's a lot happening all at once. Moving back over to Simon and Hugh.
One more chance, Hugh.
So at this point, you'd hear the phone ring.
At this point, I'm kind of too fired up to even acknowledge it.
Okay. Since you're not going to answer it, I'm going to switch it over to them one more time. Crimson, what are you doing? As it goes to answering machine.
She'd be like, fucking dick, and then hang it up and turn to Tim. I almost said Tony. You know, now that they think about it, I do have some people that would be after me. Hunters.
Okay. It's at that point that
a good friend. I don't know if I'd still have it on me, but a good friend of me let me in on the fact that they've been paying quite a bit of attention to me.
It's at that point that you would hear the door open from the rear, and Tim would go grab his gun and level it, and Sven's like, "Whoa, yeah." Excuse me.
I'd put my arm out in front of Tim. This was scheduled. This was planned.
He looks annoyed at Crimson, and then he reholsters his gun and, where do you know where the master is?
I'd point to the the door on the left. I imagine that's where it is.
Tim just rolls his eyes like, I'm not even gonna ask, kind of thing.
It's probably better for you.
So you said down this street, right?
Yep.
What happened? And he grabs you and he starts dragging you. And he's shaking his head like this is the dumbest thing he's ever done in his whole life. And do you proceed to tell him what is happening right now?
I tell him,
to your knowledge.
I tell him that I just very vague. Something went down. People are hurt. We need to get to them.
Do you tell him where the incident, like the explosion thing, happened?
Yeah.
All right. He's gonna make a roll
God.
with his streetwise to see if he's able to piece the pieces together. All right. We'll fucking see then. Anar, I would love to continue on with you and Sven, but I'm gonna cut to these guys here really quickly. Hugh and Simon, continue your scene.
Again, Simon, I don't know who you're talking about. Why don't we get Tony somewhere safe before we keep doing this?
At this point, I'm just clawing at him.
You're what?
I'm gonna go for a stab with my claws at this point because I'm done. Tired to run around at this point.
All right. Hugh, as Simon begins to move towards you, I'll give you the chance to try to talk to him first.
Can I just jump out the fire escape instead?
Yeah, that's doable. Roll me a dexterity athletics.
Feet first or head first?
That's goddamn. Do you want to burn any willpower? You can
Yeah,
reroll
I'll
that one
burn.
dice. I
Which
know it's
dice?
not a lot. It's just that one dice, the normal dice.
Mm,
Because you can't reroll
Yeah,
hunger dice.
I'll do it. Ah,
Okay.
shit.
2 successes? Okay. Whew! Okay. So, Simon, as you step closer, I imagine that it's a step, right?
I mean, I was more
Or
like
is it a
coming at
lunge?
him.
Oh, it's a
More
lunge?
of a, yeah.
Okay. Roll me a dexterity, or sorry, how to do this. I will say, I know how I'm going to do it. Okay, you guys are pretty close proximity. Roll me a strength brawl. I think that's what your feral weapons do. Now, really quickly, before, yeah, let me look. I think it just deals. Does it deal aggravated damage right away? Is that what it is?
I'm going to look. I keep forget. Okay, for Whispers. It's protein. I'm looking at animalism. Stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking too.
I was just there to obfuscate. Right. That's so many.
I didn't know falling out a window would be so complicated.
No, it's not you. It's to see if he can like. Because essentially, what I'm gonna do, since you're prioritizing leaving, I'm gonna say that he gets a swipe in on you, on your way out. Yeah, feral weapons. You do need to make me a rouse check for that. So make me. Yep,
already
you already did that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No skill rolls to activate this power whenever activated. It adds a +2 modifier to damage. Yeah, so it gives you +2 to damage. So roll me a strength brawl. Roll me a strength brawl, and essentially what we're gonna do is that we're gonna use the 2 successes that Hugh got. Hugh's gonna be able to jump out the window. He is able to jump out that window. However, you're going to essentially, as he turns to like jump out, that's when as you're moving in to get a slash, this is gonna mitigate how damaged Hugh is on his way out.
Okay, so shrimp bra. Do I add any protein or just that's it? Shrimp bra. I can't find it. It's taking forever to load for me. This damn book. I can't see right now. Just look what. Okay, I'm tripping. Okay, here we go. Storyteller.
Yes.
Do I add
Strength.
protein or just strength brawl?
You don't add anything. It's just strength brawl.
Okay. All right.
And then it's
let me
plus
see.
2. It's plus 2 to your damage.
All right. This.
Whew, buddy. Okay. So I'm just gonna take that crit away. That's gonna be the damage that's not affected.
Can I roll willpower? I'm playing. No.
You wanna? I
No,
won't say no.
Sure, why not? Sure, why not?
I won't say no. It is something that you can do.
All right, I'll do it.
I have to be indifferent. Like,
Be 3 or. But yeah,
yep, just 3.
I'm using the wrong dice. Oof.
One normal success. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So Hugh, you would take 4 superficial damage. 4 superficial damage as you leap out of the window. It's at this point that we're gonna quickly pan over to Tim, peeling down the road, and you tell him like a short summation of what happened.
Yeah.
He's like, from now on, no more wild goose chases. Do you understand me?
It wasn't a wild goose chase.
It sounds like a fucking wild snipe hunt to me.
Found
You're
out
gonna
where Damien was.
Yeah? At what cost? Did you find him? Did you talk to him?
No, but I have a meeting to talk to him, Tim.
Do you?
Yeah.
When is it? Tell me when. So you don't have a meeting. You lying sack of shit.
Fuck you, Tim.
You need to understand that you can't be risky anymore. Do you get me?
What am I supposed to do? Just sit there and rot?
It's not what anyone is asking you to do. And if you just sit down, shut up, and pay attention,
All right, Tim.
we
Here you
wouldn't
go.
be in the situation.
Sitting down, shutting up, and paying attention is what she's doing right now.
Good. Now look for your shithead friends. Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. What's awareness? All right. 3 successes. All right. Give me 1 second. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Hold on. Hold on. Ah, Spotify, you are so mean to me. Or am I mean to myself? That's the question. Almost spelled play wrong. Look at me. Did I do I did the wrong thing. God damn it. There we go. All right. So, Q, describe to me what this looks like as you jump out of the kind of damaged window. And do you jump past the fire escape or do you move to the fire escape?
I'm gonna say that, like, as Simon kind of gets me with the claws, I'm gonna try to, like, I'll like kind of jump out the window onto the fire escape and scramble my way down it.
Okay, so give me one more dexterity athletics to see if you take a big tumble. Because if I'm being realistic, if you're in the heat of the moment, jumping out to land on,
I mean, it's kind of
it's
right
there. It'll be fine. Yeah. I'll allow it.
It's still 2 successes, so
I'll allow it. I'll allow it. It'll be fine. Still good. 2 successes. That's good. Yeah.
It just carries over.
Yeah. That's funny. So Simon, as you see Hugh attempt to evade by jumping out of the window to the fire escape, kind of swinging around on a ladder and almost like doing that thing where they glide down ladders. What are you doing?
I would be petty and tag him with a gun, but nah. I'll make a call.
Oh, who are you calling? Ghostbusters? Can't. Sorry, couldn't resist.
David.
Let me do a thing. You hear a stir. Hello?
David.
Simon.
To use your help.
With what?
Sunshine, his relative. Tony.
Yeah.
Recently lost his wife. Again. And Sunshine's literally the only human connection he has left.
What are you talking about? His wife has been dead.
Come to this location, I'll explain.
Wait, what is this? It's gonna take me a while. You sure? The sun's almost up. Isn't that like kaputs for you?
Well, it's not like you can't retrieve us in daytime.
You're asking for an exfil in the middle of the day. Or in the early morning.
You know, David, usually, if it was the other way around, you'd be expecting yes and no answers to these questions.
This is just a bit odd.
You said you sent me these files. These two, knowing I care about them, at least somewhat. And one's down right now. He needs help. You want to call me a monster or whatever? Get it off your system. I don't care. It's just that I know how it is.
What is your location?
This hotel. I'll send him the location.
All right. Be there in 10 minutes. Hangs up.
Then I would pick up Tony and prepare to move somewhere else.
Ripley. Okay, hold on, guys. All right, we need to take 5. We're gonna go on a short break on that note, and we'll be right back with all of you to carry on our vampire story.
Ooh.
Sorry about that, everyone. My dog just decided to puke underneath my computer chair. I mean, it's fine. But yeah. Anyway, as we were. Crimson, suddenly outside of as you're passing down an alley, you can see what seems to be a side profile of Hugh just for a second.
Stop,
As
Tim.
you're
Stop.
driving, Tim slams on the brakes, throws it in reverse, and starts navigate like he's driving around people who are just on their Chicago commute, and like in reverse through lanes, and then spinning around through the back, through the alleyway, kind of making it move to a halt.
Is it still dark enough to where I can get out or no?
What do you mean by that?
Like, is the sun?
Yeah, but like the sky is quickly turning more and more blue.
Oh.
You're
I'd get
good.
out. I'd get
Yeah.
out.
You're good for like 30 more minutes, probably.
I'd get out and run towards where I saw him.
All right. Hugh, you'd see a crazy, what seems to be a classical, like, well, it's actually like this really normal looking sedan. Like it's like a Honda or something. That seems to be, just like pulling by its rear into, like backing up into the alleyway. Doing a very, very complicated driving maneuver. You get the sinking suspicion that since, Simon was threatening to call his hunter friends, that that's what this is. Until you see Crimson get out of the front passenger seat.
Hugh immediately goes from planning to prepare the C4 for his last final showdown because he's frankly sick of all this shit. As soon as he sees Crimson, he's gonna start running to her like a lover towards the other lover on a beach at sunset. And the theme for Baywatch.
Crimson would start running with her arms outstretched.
And just, Crimson!
Ew! The second she gets close enough, she'd grab him by the fucking collar of his jacket and rip him into the car.
And it's Simon, you would hear this. Crimson, as I doubt you would even look behind you to notice anything, but Simon, you would hear.
Well, before I would say before we actually get into the car, as I'm like shoving him, like, where's Simon and Tony?
Well, Simon keeps threatening to tell me Tony's in torpor, and Simon also crunched my phone, so fuck that dude. Pardon my language.
Yeah, so you would have seen Tim pull out what seems to be a sports bag. As in the moments that you exited, he opened up a small backpack, and you see he had a little small carbine rifle that he has aimed up, almost like covering Hugh. But Simon,
like aiming at Hugh?
No,
Oh.
like scanning, looking around for. But his back is to the main street, so therefore concealing the short-barreled rifle, like.
So you just left Tony in torpor.
Well, to be fair, Simon crunched my phone and kept trying to kill me. I didn't want to be in the same room as that.
Simon, really quickly, what are you doing as you heard Crimson yell out for Hugh?
I would pick up Tony and probably notice that someone tried to call. So then I would open my phone and look.
You would see it's Crimson.
And I would just simply mutter in my breath while I'm, moving Tony from this location. They don't understand. They probably never will.
What's the call here, Crimson? We don't have time to clear this whole building.
Just give it a couple more minutes. And I'm like assuming she's staring up, like, I don't know, can she see like what window Hugh came out of?
No.
No?
You'd be able to tell that there's a couple windows that look like. Well, no, you would be able to tell that one window was forced open and broken around.
She'd be looking at that one.
You would notice that.
You out of all people, Hugh, I would not expect to leave Tony. And she'd shove him in the car and close the door, like signal to Tim. He knows where to find us.
Yeah, he keeps insisting on calling his hunter buddies too, and I didn't want to be around for that one either.
Well, I'm pretty sure they already paid me a visit.
Tim collapses the small carbine, puts it back in his gym bag, and hits the road.
Tim, I've always liked you. We should have coffee sometime.
He's quiet.
Plus, I can give you information.
What about?
Well, I'm more communicative than these other people, so why don't we talk about what we saw in the sewers? Later, after I stop bleeding out. And I'm gonna kind of look down at myself like, Jesus
fuck?
Christ.
What happened?
I mean, there are
geez.
obvious claw marks that
Yeah.
are just bleeding into his back seat, Tim's
You
back
pissed-
seat.
You pissed Simon off that bad, huh?
He kept asking me who this person was. I have no idea who that person is. He just kept saying,
Person.
like, oh, last
Person-
chance, last chance. I'm like, who are you talking about? And he's
By
just
the
like,
way, what the fuck was that explosion? What happened?
I'm gonna laugh and then clutch my side like, oh, that I shouldn't laugh.
Not to cut you off, but we're going to the club.
Good.
Okay.
It's the places that's closest. I'm not taking both of you back to your havens. I'm not a taxi service.
I wanted to go back to the club, so thank you for your foresight, Tim. You're a good man.
I'm not saying a word. Crimson will turn from Tim back to you. Explosion.
Explosion, right. Oh, so you know how I mentioned blood witches are nasty?
Yes.
Well, they're nasty because, and you know, at this point, Hugh's just kind of out of it because it's been a long fucking night and I'm heavily injured, so I'm gonna have just like blabbermouth about everything.
Yeah, Crimson's kind of
Like-
like half taking it in too.
He's just like lolling around trying to make sense of everything, like in the back seat, bleeding and hurt. Like, okay, well, blood witches, to cut it short, every Tremere's a blood witch, kinda, but we don't all necessarily practice blood magic because that shit's dangerous and shisty. And well, the amulet was one of those things, and he decided, instead of taking precautions, I told him it was going to be violent if it broke, he decided to just break it.
There was an
'Cause-
amulet? I don't...
Yeah,
No.
I don't know if Simon convinced him to, probably, or he did it on his own, but oh boy, that happened. I tried to go see what was up with Tony,
Why is this amulet? I don't understand. Am I missing
got it.
something?
I got it from Aretho to like help keep the ghosties away because we didn't need to get spied on. Oh shit, we're probably getting spied on again. That's bad.
I don't... What does Aretho have to do with any of that? I'm so confused, Hugh.
Well, I talked to Aretho to get the amulet to help out Tony because I felt bad for him and his wife. And now I'm bleeding out in the back seat because Simon kept insisting on interrogating me when Tony's literally in torpor. So now we're here.
And you both started fighting instead of... And
He's the one that attacked me! I was not fighting!
I don't have time for this inner team turmoil, okay? You guys have always had beef. You need to figure it out.
I don't know why he keeps attacking me. He kept asking me and I kept saying I had no idea what he's on about. He's insisting I know what I'm on about. I have no idea what's going on.
Putting a pin in that. Our perspective shifts over to Anar. We're going to move over to the car ride. Oh, sorry. Redact that. He goes downstairs to the basement, under guiding of both Crimson and I imagine Anar is also guiding him as much as he can until finally he shows up. Boss, Master, are you... Oh my god, what happened to your eyes?
It's okay, Sven. You can come closer.
He does.
And like I'm gonna grab his hands and like, put his hands up by the eyes so they just real close to my face and just say, I found Robert. He was hiding underground.
Oh my gosh, so he is still breathing.
Yes. He's made quite a thing. Fields of Madness, and he gave me a gift. I'm still figuring out everything about it, but I had
Master,
to take my eyes out for now.
Master, I don't know what this means for us, but we need to leave. It's almost sunrise.
Can we make it back to the parlor?
Yes, I think we can. It'll be close. Or do you
Then we
want to
should-
just stay here, Master?
No, we should return if there's time. Get me up, and the arm will be out to rely on him.
All right. As he does, he helps you up and moves up and on the car ride. Is there anything that you discuss?
We'd be pretty silent on the way back to the parlor. And I can't remember if anyone else was in the interrogation room with us. Was Crimson School still there?
Yeah, I imagine Iris is up in the office.
Okay.
I don't imagine unless did you want to say something to her?
No, just if there was someone there letting them know that that's where I went.
Yeah, no, but
But
you.
other than that, it'd be like we're going and getting out.
I feel like Crimson would assume that you would go back to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I do have a phone. It was just if she was in there,
Mhm.
we'd say where we were going.
So at that point, that Simon, you'd see 20 minutes pass by almost to the dot, and you'd hear a honk, like a honking noise.
I'll pick up Tony and say, "You're probably gonna be mad at me for this, but it's what you need." When I woke up, after it all went down, all I wanted to do to kill everything. But you can't have that, Tony. It's the last thing you need. He's downstairs waiting.
Yeah, and it's at that point that you see a squad of light armored individuals with plate carriers, very minimalistic, and nods downstairs. One of them you would recognize as David, nods down, and as you approach, he doesn't seem to have a rifle, but everyone else definitely does. It's at that point that as you come out carrying Tony, they quickly turn. A couple of them cover where you're coming from. A couple of them covered get into a kneeling position and kind of cover the rear of the van. And as you come down, bringing Tony, I imagine you just plop him down in the van.
Yeah.
David looks at you, and you can't really see his eyes because of the nods that are the tubes that are sticking out, the fluorescent tubes, and he'd just say, "You should stay in the back. Therefore, when sunrise hits, you won't burn." And he
That's fine.
moves in, and he hits the rest of the team files in. There's 3 or 4 guys. There's 3 other guys there, and he hits they hit the wall of the van, and the van speeds off. Now in this van, it is window tight. There's no windows or anything, but you can tell that the sun is close. You can feel it. You can feel yourself becoming more and more fatigued.
I'll sit and look at Tony.
His face looks absolutely vacant.
Then I would think back to Arthur. He looked after Hudson. Sent her a tendril through him. So it would be a vaguely similar look. Well, you walked me into the jaws of the beast. First day we met. This is me returning the favor. Nothing will happen to you.
As we, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Are you good? I would say
We
the
could-
me probably passing off to sleep.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now, do you stay awake for when you arrive to the compound or hideout, or do you? Because you'd have to make an active effort in order to stay awake.
I would try to.
All right, roll me your unspent willpower.
Okay, let me look. Okay. Just is it regular dice?
Yeah. Nope. You add your hunger into it.
Oh, okay,
It's like
so 5.
your unspent willpower. I think your max is
I know.
is 5. I don't think you
Yeah.
have like 7 willpower.
No, I mean you said add your hunger to it. I have 2 left. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. So yeah, it would just be 2 hunger dice then, since if you're at hunger 2.
Okay. I'm hunger 3.
Hunger 3, yeah, it'd still just be 2.
Okay.
Oh, god damn. You're asleep. You're like, as soon as the sun crests the horizon, you are no longer able to remain conscious. So we're gonna put a pin in you, Simon, for now. Crimson.
Yes.
I imagine that you guys get to the club.
Mm-hmm.
gonna-
The way there's like leather couches like littering about the club. I'd lay
They're all
Hugh down on
slashed.
one.
There's a lot of them that are slashed up.
I'd lay Hugh down on one anyway.
I want to look
Stop.
around at the club, like looking at all the destruction and everything. Crimson, what happened here?
This is what I came back to. Pretty sure it's the hunters. Still don't know
They had a
yet though.
party. They
They
had a
did.
party without you.
Uninvited.
I don't think it was the hunters.
Who do you think it was then? Mr. Know-It-All.
Do you remember Abby?
That was my thought too.
There's a possibility that it was her. But you put the fear of God into her, so beats me.
You tailed her. I thought she didn't go anywhere.
No, she went to a trap house.
Where was this trap house?
Some shithole downtown, not terribly far from here.
Well,
I'm not sure who else it could be.
first thing
unless
tomorrow night, I guess that's where I'm going. Or you. Seeing as I'm on house arrest according to you.
You're not going anywhere.
Exactly.
Side note, what if it's Sarah Hudson's goons?
That was also a thought in my head, but I don't think it would be her. She's still in.
Truth be told, if it is a vampire, it's probably someone who's hiring someone else to do it. It's definitely not a vampire themselves that did this damage.
My other thought was
You see Tim makes a big yawn.
Toreador Primogen, maybe. I know Ballard doesn't like her, so maybe he's done
That is-
something.
That's a possibility, but we have eyes on Annabelle. She'd have to get pretty creative in order to do that.
She is pretty creative.
She's a Toreador.
But
It's
it's late. We
it's
should all
too early
sleep and
for this.
investigate. Yes.
I'm gonna go.
Yes, of course. You two sleep. I just have a whole meeting in 5 hours, and I have to make sure you guys can sleep in peace. By all means, sleep up.
Always the peach Tim as she's walking away.
He shakes his head.
Ferris Bueller, you're my hero. As I'm laying on the couch, look at Tim and say that.
Tim just looks at you like disgusted. He like rubs his goatee a little bit.
Talk later.
He moves upstairs. And then he pauses. And he glances back. Tell me more about what happened in the sewers.
Do you want to do that now, or do you want to do that after we go sleep a bit?
Tell me as much as you can now. We'll come back to it later.
There's a flesh crafter down there. The cult's using the labyrinth as a meeting point. Meeting with Damien incoming. She has contact with the mayor of the sewers, and
As
they
I'm
want
getting
my body.
as I'm getting ready to walk down the stairs, I'd be like, I told him that already.
I'm moving the highlights.
Yeah, you keep doing that.
Meeting being set up. Mayor said he would facilitate. Yeah, shit's going down in gay old Paris, Tim. There's a lot of stuff going on down there.
Yeah, she's not going to that meeting.
Yeah, I'm not going to that meeting. I was getting weird vibes, you know.
Well, first things first, and he flips his notebook away. You need to heal. Take some time. Recoup your losses before anything else is done. And he shakes his head, and you see he says, you know, for creatures that humans fear so much, you guys don't seem all that hard to bring down.
We're all just flesh bags, man.
It's crazy how you think about it. And he, like, moves upstairs and slams the door. Now, Anar, as you go into your haven, your shop, what is it that you're doing?
So as we enter the door, I imagine, Sven is holding me up almost.
Yeah, yep, of course.
So to Sven,
Guiding
I'll
you.
just saying, I need you to take me down to my chambers, Sven. Quickly.
Of course. He says in a whispered tone as he escorts you down.
And as we're going, I'll continue kind of muttering to him, I don't fully understand the gift that Robert gave me. You might be able to help me. And I'm going to need to rely on you in the future even more.
Whatever it is I can do.
I think it's time we gave you another drink. Get me down to my chambers.
And you two descend.
Yeah, and so as we get down, the door will open to my room with just a single cot in there. And he would lay me down, and so just laying on my back face up, I'm gonna take my nail and dig it in above my eye and open a wound and let the eye socket fill with some of my blood, and then beckon for Sven to come down and say, you're going to share in this gift and tell me what you see, and offer him the blood in my eye.
Yeah, he leans down and presses his lips to your eye socket, and he begins to sip. He makes sure not to, it's not like a gluttonous drink or slurp. It's very careful, but impatient. You can feel his tongue kind of rest on your orbital bone, making sure that he doesn't miss any. As he drinks from your eye socket as if it's a vessel, you see his breathing becomes more and more harsh until finally he pulls away and he dabs at his mouth and starts licking at his fingers as he kind of his back falls to the far wall, and his back slowly slides down until he's sitting on the floor, dazed, looking up as if he just got a heroin fix. He's staring up.
It will
Go.
take some time, I'm sure, for you to understand, even if you can. But I'm going to sleep for now. And you are going to maybe see a bit of what I saw.
His eyes are wide as he seems to lull into nothingness. His mouth kind of like hangs agape as he watches shapes, what you can assume movement, as his head lolls from side to side, intoxicated, inebriated by your blood, your vitae. And the day passes. People go to work. The day appears to be normal to most people. Traffic bustles. The sun beats hot. It's a warm day in Chicago for spring, 70 degrees. And it spikes down as it approaches night, as the sun's far arc begins to descend behind the obelisks of our society, the monuments that we build to our business, the monuments that we've built to our society. And as that sun descends, our kindred stir. Everyone, make me a hunger check.
That's just one hunger die, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So, Hugh, you do not gain any hunger. Simon, you do. And then Anar.
I believe I gained hunger. I did not get a success on mine.
Oh, you did. Sorry, I didn't scroll up high enough. Excuse me. Okay. So, we'll start with Crimson and Hue. Give me one moment while I change the playlist. As you awaken, darkness and shadow, you feel empty. You feel as if you're being reborn, as you feel the nothingness, the familiar void of death. You felt it many times, but you felt it most fervently when you returned. Most of you do not remember exactly the moment when you turned, but you remember the feeling of dying. And as you feel that sensation of death and emptiness, nothing, you stir. Creatures of the damned. Crimson, this nothing is particularly potent, for you remember actually nothing, but you remember this feeling. The drowsiness begins to wear off as you gain more and more of your awareness. What do you do? Because I imagine you're sleeping in the basement.
Yeah, in my little closet. Get up and immediately look at her phone to see if there's anything she missed while she was out.
There seems to be a text from Tim, that says we need to talk when you wake up.
She would immediately get up, head upstairs. I can imagine she passes through the main area of the club. She would glance to see if Hugh was okay or even there still.
Yeah, Hugh, I'd imagine you'd be waking up at around the same time. What do you do when you first awaken?
I'm gonna pat myself down, think about all the mistakes I've made in my life that has gotten me to this point. As Crimson walks by, I'll be like, "Good evening."
Yes, good night. And she'd say that as she passes to her
Now,
office.
as you look around, you see that Hugh, when you woken up, you would have noticed that you would have been moved to the upstairs office, and I imagine you would have made your way down. As you would see Tim reading, scrolling on a phone. Even though he's probably not older than 35, you see he has reading glasses, looking down at his phone.
How you going, Tim?
He wanted to talk.
You see he looks up at you with dark circles under his eyes. Obviously, he hasn't slept yet. And you see he pulls out a flip phone. And he motions for you to come upstairs. Something that you would have noticed, Crimson, is that your ghoul is nowhere to be seen.
As he's silently walking up, have you seen Iris anywhere?
I sent her home. She was tired. She was insistent on staying up all night waiting for you. Or all day waiting for you. I told her to get some sleep. It's going to be a long next couple of days.
Fair enough. I as we're walking up, I can imagine Iris and I text back and forth. You know?
Yeah.
I'd shoot her a text, be like, "I'm awake. Are you all right?"
There's a pause in the response. Yeah, I'm okay.
Did you get sleep? ...
No, frowny face.
If you want, you can come back to the club and sleep in my closet if that makes you feel better.
She just answers back with a smiley face. And then a winky face.
I'd send her a little heart.
Tim leads you upstairs and sits down. So, what do you want to do, Crimson? In your perfect world, how do you dig yourself out of this mess?
Well, obviously, we go down the list.
Yeah, and what is that list of priorities to you?
Obviously, finding out who trashed the club, Tim. And like you said, Abby. Sounds like a pretty good lead to me.
Clubs in the work, and you would have seen, by the way, that a lot of it's been cleaned up, and there's like been construction that's been trying to repair the damage. Tim looks at Hugh. What about you?
Oh, I need to get a new phone. Cause
Don't I have a ton in my drawer?
Yeah.
I'd pop open the drawer, like the front door of my desk, and pull one out and slide it across the table at him.
oh,
Small
yay!
flip
Thank you,
phone.
Crimson.
It's the Hello Kitty one.
Anyways, I will eventually get a new phone. I'm gonna put the Hello Kitty phone in my pocket. Because I'm going to guess that this one has the ringtone automatically tuned to Crazy Frog, doesn't it?
I didn't set it up as that.
Tim does not look amused.
The second thing would probably be, figuring out who trashed the club, because that's an affront to not just Crimson, but Ballard. We gotta figure out eventually what happened to Simon and Tony, but they're grown men, so they can figure it out.
Erictho too. I
And
can
I gotta call
imagine
my
she
sire.
wasn't so happy about that necklace being broken, if it is all what you say it is.
I figured you'd ask as much. And he pulls out a series of documents, and he starts filing through them until he finds the E's, pulls it out, and starts flipping through some like another manila folder. And he slaps out a small packet, and you see it shows like a bunch of like some pictures of Erictho at that old coffee shop.
The
And you
coffee
see
shop that was demolished.
Yeah, and you see there's a dossier on like there's a lot of like in big letters there's a sticky note that says connections to House Karna ?
House Karna.
Yeah, apparently it's some crazy feminist branch of the Tremere.
Hmm.
They're based in Milwaukee. We have reason to suspect rumors that Erictho's involved with them somehow.
Mm-hmm.
That she is, but she seems otherwise pretty buddy-buddy with Dusable. Not sure what that means to you. And he looks at Hugh.
She does like you, Hugh. From what I know of her, she doesn't seem to be fond of me.
Well, to be fair, you were cuddling, what was it, a possum?
Oh my god. Don't bring him up.
Upon first meeting. I wouldn't be shocked if she's involved with House Karna. She may be, you used the word fond, I guess I'll use that, fond of me, but that doesn't mean she's fond of the Tremere in general.
Well, she seems buddy-buddy with Dusable, and I know Dusable doesn't like House Karna. So I'm not sure where her allegiances lie. I know it's not to the Ivory Tower. Oh my god, my camera's only getting worse. Jesus. Tried to fix it. Come on, fix yourself. Maybe.
Fuck yourself, camera.
Yeah, it's being incredibly rude. I'm gonna turn my camera off and on again just to see if that fixes it.
Well,
Hope that doesn't fuck with things too much. Alright, fixed it a little bit.
Are you watching stream right now?
Oh god.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Things got so wrong. I just had to. It was so blurry. Rachel, make it go back. Fix it.
Okay, where were we at?
It's good.
Yeah, thank you, Rachel. So, you can handle that.
Was he pointing at Hugh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll handle that. That, and I have to call my sire.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with Dusable. I haven't even met the
Dusable's-
guy.
Oh, yeah.
I just know you have issues with him, Hugh.
I don't have issues with him. The man's like fruitier than a box of Fruit Loops. I don't know what's going on in that head.
And as they bring up Dusable, that'll remind Crimson of not Portia. What's her name?
Yeah.
Annabelle?
No. I'm related to her in somehow.
Yeah, Portia.
Oh, it is Portia? Okay. Thinking of Portia and how she said she would meet with her when the time was right, but wondering when that would be. Not bringing it up to anyone, of course.
Now, Hugh, I believe you have your work cut out for you. I ask for you to leave the office, please.
Of course. Crimson, good luck. We'll talk
You
later,
too.
Tim. And I'll mosey my way out.
I'll keep in touch.
See
Hey,
ya.
when you do get a new phone, use that phone. Look up Big T. Don't worry about it. It's a long story.
Big T.
It's
I'll keep it in mind.
it's the nickname of for me for the last person who had the phone. Dial me with your new number, so therefore I have it. Makes it easier for me to track you down.
Yeah, of course. I'll keep my location on.
You probably shouldn't do that. It goes against whatever Ivory Tower traditions.
That and whoever was here hacked into everything.
That's true. Alright, I'll probably keep it off and just drop a pin when I need you. And then I'll mosey my way out with that last sentence.
Sounds good.
Oh, Tim, you were mentioning the sewers. I have something you might want to see.
Not right now.
All right then.
You have a job.
Oh boy.
And he pulls out another flip phone. He dials from a number. He puts it on speakerphone and slides it across the table. And you hear the phone ring a couple times, and you hear Ballard's assistant pick it up. And then Tim, of course, says some kind of passphrase. It's sun-drenched kibble. That's what he says the password is. And I'm gonna write that down too, just to make sure I don't. And as he does, the dial tone becomes different.
Hmm.
It sounds almost distorted, and you hear, "Ah, Tim, it's a pleasure to hear from you again, and I take it you have her online as well." Yeah, she's here. So, Miss Rose.
Hello, Ballard.
Sounds like you're a little worse for wear.
I've definitely been better.
So it seems. Now, I have some work for you to do.
Of course. I knew I would need to pay this off anyways.
Pay what off?
The whole club situation.
There's a silence. And you see Tim kind of bites his lip a little bit. You hear, like I said, it's like a long silence. Until, like, you see Tim kind of like starts to stare at the door, just kind of like, God damn it.
Crimson would give Tim a look like, oh, really?
And there's an individual by the name of what is it? Something under the lines of Mr. Corinth. He's having a party.
How do you spell that?
We'll get to there later.
Okay.
A
party, you say?
Yes. He's this line is encrypted, so this information doesn't leave this room. Do you understand?
Of course.
If you do, tell anyone, even your coterie, of this. Our relationship will be terminated.
What coterie?
Yours. Got you. Now, glad that we have an understanding. You are to go to this party with some He runs social media business here in Chicago, the Chicago branch. Tim will give you more of the dossier details later, but what I want you to do is I want you to make sure, do whatever it takes to talk him into cutting me in on his deal. If you fail, you are done.
Understood.
All right, Tim will give you more of the details. This needs to happen. This will be the start of many parties that you will start attending. You will be the representative to, well, represent my interests. I need you to pull whatever Toreador magic out of your ass, or wherever you pull it from, and make sure they let me buy them out.
Understood.
And if you don't, well,
I'm done.
I'm glad we're at an understanding. Now, this will be the first of many ventures.
As you've said.
And if you are able to do this, there will be, I am not a cruel man, there will be a reward in it for you. We can talk details and what you might want later on.
Right.
Good evening, Miss Rose.
Good evening, Ballard.
I hope that your night isn't as unfriendly as mine is. And he hangs up the phone.
Slide it back to Tim. Details.
Yeah. This Corinth guy, he's a representative of a new startup of a social media company. It's supposed to be very encrypted, very down low. It hasn't had the best reputation because a bunch of, well, shall we say, underground types use it to transmit large amounts of data on the black market.
Mm.
And they're thinking about moving in more of the direction of other messaging sites, other social media sites. Apparently Ballard wants it for some reason, but he's going to try to buy it out.
Got it. Any other information?
There'll be more details for you soon. You're going to have to get your outfit figured out, whatever it is you do. I'll leave that to you. As far as the club, I'm going to have one of my guys here. He's going to be watching it. And then I'm going to settle some other business, and I expect that you're okay with letting Iris run the club once it starts back up. Good. So
as long as you ensure nothing happens to her while I'm gone.
He gives you a look.
You said you were here to keep my best interests at heart, or...
Yours.
That is one of mine.
No, you. I'm here to make sure Ballard and you are copacetic. If something happens to your ghoul, I don't know.
She's part of that.
Get another one. Listen, Crimson, I'm not sure. You probably don't know how this life works that well yet, but let me clue you in on something. Don't get attached to anyone. And the more resources you divert from you to her, the more it puts you at risk. If you cared about her to begin with, you would let her go right now. Otherwise, you have to start looking at this like a game. If you care about every pawn, every knight, you're gonna lose the will to fight. And that's what she is. Do you understand? That's what you are. That's what I am. No more of these games of thinking that you're some newfound adventurer or that you're some kind of damned hero, because you're not. In fact, if anything, you got really lucky there. But you just could have very, very much fucked me had I not talking to Ballard's representatives last night. Say less, listen more.
I think you were just worried I was gonna fuck you over, Tim.
You just don't get it yet, do you? You're right. I don't want to be fucked over, because if I get fucked over, you get fucked over. I, believe it or not, trying very poorly, apparently, to keep your unlife, whatever you call it, going. I get paid a lot to make sure that you wake up every night. I would very much rather it stay that way. The more that you run your stupid mouth, and the more that you decide to play fucking hero or damsel in distress, whatever hat you decide to wear that day, it puts us in trouble. You in trouble, me in trouble, your friends in trouble. You're not a superhero. You're not a
Crimson
main
would
character.
slowly stand up, tired of being lectured, but fully taking in everything he's been saying. She's not as dumb as he thinks she is. Not saying anything.
You don't head for the door, you just stand up?
No, she heads for the door, not saying a single thing.
As you go to open the door, you see his foot stops it from opening, because it's a center fed door. Are we clear? Because I, believe it or not, I'm trying to keep you alive.
Crystal, now if you'll fucking excuse me, I have research to do and things to get ready for.
He lifts his boot off the door. And I want you to keep me appraised.
Walks away, doesn't answer him.
If you leave this building, you tell me. I escort you everywhere from now on.
Very sarcastically, she'd do a curtsy, as you wish.
Now, as Crimson is walking down these stairs, what's going through your head? As you see floodlights kind of illuminating some less than beautiful parts of your club as they're trying to do maintenance on it.
She feels obviously irritated that everyone keeps treating her as though she has no idea what she's doing. But also extremely irritated at herself. She knows that they're right, she just wants to prove them wrong.
It's at that note that we switch perspectives over to, well, actually, Hugh, what do you do as you're walking out of the building?
Oh, I would just be like... I wouldn't have walked out to the building. I think I probably would have gone downstairs to the basement.
And as you go downstairs, I imagine, Crimson, is that where you go as well?
Yes.
So, Hugh, you would hear Crimson descending.
Heard some yelling. You okay?
Kind of shaken out of thought. Yeah. I'm fine.
I'm gonna say something you probably don't want to hear.
Yay, more things that I
ready?
don't want to hear. Yep.
You should be nicer to Tim.
You're not wrong.
And I'm not gonna defend men because it's a waste of my time, frankly, but I'll defend people who are just trying to do their jobs. And while he may come off as kind of rough and, a bit controlling, it really is because he's just played this game for a long time.
Just silently
More than-
nodding.
Listen to the words, not the tone with that kind of man, I guess.
Got it.
So is the basement also trashed, or what does that look like?
No, the
now?
basement's pretty unmarred.
It's not trash. It's just the room
There's
where
stuff everywhere.
Yeah, just the empty empty and half empty crates of the stuff we got before we went down into the labyrinth. Except for that box, the one that I nailed shut with Tony Jr. in it.
Oh, so that's where you're keeping him.
Yep.
Well, it'll have to do for now.
Yeah, I don't have a jar on me. Whatnot.
It's on that point. Oh, sorry. Did not.
No,
mean to cut
it's
you off.
fine. I would have just gone, eh.
It's on that point that we'll switch perspectives to Anar. As you awaken, again, that deathless void. You suddenly feel awareness begin to come back to you. I need to look. Did you gain more hunger?
Yes, I did. And I am quite hungry.
You would wake up to, you'd hear Robert's voice. The answers are in the blood, the vitae, the vitae. The vitae is where it all begins, where it all ends. Who knows? Just follow where it flows. Sink your teeth in and take what you need to.
Yeah, so if I was laid down, my head should be towards the back of the room, my feet should be towards the door.
Yep.
So I would try to sit up and then pull myself off the bed because the door should be right in the line of my feet. And so I'm trying to move towards the door. And I think, so I'm at hunger 4 or 5, so I'm not frenzied, but I imagine that that's all that's on my mind. And so what Anar's trying to do is to get to the door, open it, and then he knows he needs to go right and follow the wall, and then the 3 doors to the Dreamers are there. And so he's trying to follow the wall to get to one of the doors and get inside.
Okay. Roll me a wits awareness. It won't be that hard. Jesus, what is that noise? Oh my god. All right, anyway. Yeah, whew, buddy. Yeah, you're able to follow the wall and eventually move towards where.
With a good roll like that, from what I remember, I think the last time that I fed it was the 3rd. And so I would be going to the 2nd door at this point.
Yeah. As you go, is that the 2nd door? Is that where you keep your sleeping ones?
Right. So if the layout of that basement is on the far wall, there's a little door in the center, and that goes to my chambers. So as you exit that, and you would go right, you would hit corner, And then as you come off that corner, there should be 3 doors, 1, 2, 3. And that's the first dreamer, second dreamer, and third dreamer. So as he's
Right.
going, he would find like that first doorknob, that should be third. And then the next door should be the second. So that's what he's attempting to do.
All right. And what do these dreamers look like?
So inside.
I mean,
of each
I
room-
know. I just want to give you the chance
Oh.
to elaborate.
Yeah. I haven't been into the room with the second for at least several nights. And at this point, like I haven't called out to Sven or anything, so I don't know really.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that's fair. As you kind of stumble, and these dreamers, they're in separate rooms.
yeah,
You said?
3
Okay.
separate rooms.
So as you go into the middle one, and you said the middle one, right?
The middle should be the middle one.
As you do, it's like I said, it's all is quiet. You hear the shallow breaths of this drugged figure, this pawn of yours, this ascended one, this dreamer. And what thoughts are going through your head as you're with your hands dragging us across the wall, finding the bed, and slowly moving?
It's almost like Robert's voice and the calls to more blood, more vita, and that's the only way that the answers are going to be found. So it'd be, not frenzy, but it's much more frantic. And so I imagine like the moment that he can find, a leg, an arm, like there would be less care, where normally he would try and go like right off of the wrist that doesn't have the IV in it. Like the moment he finds something warm, he would probably immediately sink his teeth in.
I'm gonna say you probably find the leg first, and as you dig your fangs into this dreamer, you feel them stir, almost whimper out in blissful agony as you pull from them. And it's within that blood that you feel it almost harmonize with you. It sings almost. There's like a dull thrum as you pull more and more of this life force, this sacred liquid, this vitae, the blood. You feel almost it's almost an earthly taste, contemplative, intentional. And as you go past the superficial feelings, you begin to sense the dream. You sense a river. In this moonlight, this image of this fractured moon going down this cove, a kind of a cave leading into a river, and before you, almost like a movie theater, you see the sun dripping crimson vitae, and then you look and you see that the water itself that you're sailing on is crimson and red, and you go to stick your hand in it, and it almost moves away from as you bring your lips up to it. It's almost like Narcissus, where it moves away from you. You can't pool any of it, you can't cup any of it. It spills out before you can bring it to your lips. You feel the scent of romance, but you see no partner. And suddenly you come back out of it. What do you do as soon as you come out of it? Now, a better question is, how much do you pull from them?
So I was curious. So like I had only 1 willpower remaining. So does that reset immediately after waking? Okay, so
unless
I do
you took
have,
damage, unless you took willpower
No.
damage.
I did not. So the fact I'm gauging this is like I have some willpower. So he's thirsty, but he doesn't want to destroy one of the dreamers. So it would be a full drink.
So
but
one
it's
is
not
safe.
like
Pulling one hunger from that from this person would be safe. 2, they're gonna be feeling really shitty. 3, you better hope they have nothing else to do, because if they exert themselves, they're gonna pass out. It's gonna be really bad. 4, you're risking them dying. 5 is that you're the one that pulls them. You fully insanguinate them.
yeah, it would be 2.
Okay. And do you do that twice? With 2 dreamers? Or sorry, with one? Do you? Because the only way to go to hunger 0 is to kill.
Right.
I guess what I should say is, do you take care of that other hunger by feeding off one of your other dreamers?
Not just yet. So after feeding on the second, that would slake some hunger. And so I imagine after that, Anar would kind of spin so that his back is on the bed, and then he would start like calling out for Sven.
What does that sound
If
like?
he comes, just Sven, Sven, and like the volume just getting louder and louder and louder
until you hear heavy footsteps coming down in a hurry, and the door opening very suddenly. Yeah, Master, you're awake. I'm sorry. I should have checked on you. I'm so sorry.
Please check on the second. Is it okay?
You see, he checks pulse. He checks the eyes. Yeah, yes. They keep sleeping. Just sleeping.
And like, I'll hold up my arm. Be like,
and Sven will help you. Sven will help you.
And like have him take me out into that room where kind of the countertops in the lab is. And sit me down. And then like, Sven?
Yes, Master.
Tell me what happened after you drank.
I saw shapes. I saw a web. A cracks. I keep seeing the moon and everything. Whenever there's light, it just always comes back to the moon. He gulps a little bit.
Keep going. Is there more?
Yeah, it's one mood led to another mood, and they all felt connected somehow, and it's like the moon was singing to me, but I couldn't understand it. It was in a different language almost, and then I felt like I was drowning. I felt like I was never going to come back to myself. Didn't know who I was, what year it was. I didn't know anything. I saw shapes that don't make sense. I saw eyes that look angry, watching me, watching us. And a fish. I don't know what to make of any of it yet.
I can understand. I don't understand it all myself yet. And like my hands are gonna go up and like feel around in my eye sockets. They're still pretty empty, right?
Yep.
I need you to do something for me.
Yeah.
I don't understand Robert's gift, his message yet. And I need my eyes to not come back. Go upstairs and take the crystal balls. Take them to a jeweler's, wherever you need to go. And I need you to make something that will fill both my eye sockets.
I need to find a way to take measurements, and he
I'm gonna like reach out if he's there and try and grab his hands and like put his fingers like right into the eye sockets. Be like,
I need to okay. And he starts like trying to figure out. You feel like, do you let them like eventually retract?
Yeah, but like, he says I need to figure out measurements, and so it kind of
as
right in.
He's like, sir, I need to, and you see he starts like trying to measure as best he can. He's like, oh God, and you feel him like gag. You hear him gag, and eventually you hear him puke. This is all a bit much for delicate Sven.
You'll be able to handle it.
And he
Go ahead.
sorry, as you say that, he's like, oh, I gotta see how far they go back.
Keep pushing.
Oh God! And you see he takes like what seems to be you feel like a wooden stick, like moves into the socket of your eye, and there's a slight stinging sensation. It doesn't feel great as he figures out how far back they go. He figures out the diameter, and he's like still gagging as he's trying to do this. And eventually he you don't see him obviously, but you just hear I'll be back. I'm gonna go see if I can find someone.
Quickly, take me to the first and sit me down next to him.
And he like guides you.
Yeah,
The
and
first.
so like I'd be looking at this point to like attempt to heal some damage, and then if it's required, feed again. So I don't know if we need to do that now or we can do it after session closes up.
We can do it off. Well, it's gonna determine whether or not you need to feed.
Mhm.
So go ahead and make me well, this is your one free healing of aggravated damage. So roll me one hunger dice.
Negative.
Oof. So you do gain hunger for that. And then I need you to make me for every 1 point of super aggravated damage, that's you have to heal it to superficial first.
Yeah, so I have 4 superficial damage, so I'm trying to get rid of that if I can.
So you do heal. You heal no matter what, but you do gain hunger.
Okay.
So you have 1 point of aggravated damage that's just gone. It's bled off.
Okay, just
and
after
that-
you sleep.
And that from after that initial rouse check.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Now for
So now I have-
every additional point that you take, what's your blood potency?
1. And at this point, I have 1 aggravated damage and 5 superficial.
Yeah, so you would need to make me another rouse check as far as you want to go. But
Yep.
Essentially that will take care of that 1 aggravated first. That'll turn that into superficial.
Yep. So that's negative. That's gaining hunger.
So you do gain another hunger, yes. So now you're at hunger 3.
Yep. And keep going.
Oh Jesus.
No dice.
Yes. You gain another point of hunger. You're back to hunger 4.
Yep. So since I'm right next to the other dreamer, I would attempt to like pull 2 more hunger out of them, and then I guess I gotta call it a day.
Yeah. That happens sometimes. Okay.
Yep.
And as you do, you pull, and this time you feel different. You feel more sensation. It almost feels like a warm breeze. You feel arousal. Active, almost an enthusiasm. There's a longing to be touched. There's the caress of a lover. You would feel this person's touch. And Anar, you almost feel like a voyeur watching this, feeling this. You can feel the tender caress of skin, the passion, the wanting, the almost feral nature of wanting more, faster and faster. This goes on for a while until finally it reaches a climax, and you pull your teeth away, and you feel shivers running down your spine.
Yeah, and at the conclusion of feeding here, I think that Anar would just kind of settle in next to the first and would just like be sitting there holding hands with the first, like maybe with both, just and then just kind of like relaxing and leaning back and waiting for Sven at that point.
Okay. Now, moving to because Hugh is with Crimson. Simon, you wake up. I need you to make me you already made the hunger check. Did you gain hunger? Remind me, please.
Yes.
Okay. So you feel the longing. You feel your teeth on edge. As you awaken, you see that you're in a cell, a room. With a very, very heavy door. If you had to guess, you were in some sort of old factory.
Is Tony here?
No. It's you and what seems to be a cot and just empty space. Concrete, some shelving, some wooden, like some metal cabinets.
Hmm. I would knock on the door.
You see a little slit open. What do you want?
Where's Tony?
Talking with the boss. Or he will be.
Let's see. So what now?
The slit closes.
I'll
And-
hit the door.
It reverberates. Roll me a strength brawl. How hard do you hit it?
Eh. It depends on the roll.
I mean, I guess are you trying to intend on like smashing the door?
No. Well, I'm just more so just trying to, pretty much like I knocked before. This is me saying I'm not done yet in a way.
Mm.
So let me roll. Bro.
Yeah, you see a dent coming out of the door, slightly. It's like a you can see the knuckles print. You feel the skin break around the bones in your hand. You don't care. It's that point that the door. What?
I have things to do. I'm not gonna sit here and wait. Either we talk now, or I'll keep knocking.
Wait until the boss is done.
I'm not here for the boss.
Boss's order.
Where's David?
Occupied. At that point, you
Dan, if
feel
not-
the huh?
If not David, where's John?
No answer. Feel the metal slit.
I look around the room.
Yeah. As you glance around, you see, make me a wits investigation or wits awareness, depending on, I imagine that you take your time.
Yeah.
Oof. There is not much that you can glean. In fact, you feel like a caged animal, and you do not appreciate this whatsoever.
Hit the door again.
Roll me strength brawl one more time. Again, it just feels empty and fruitless, and you can feel your beast burbling over, boiling over. It's there. That bestial failure that we'll pick up next time. As our perspective pulls away. We hear a distant, heavy bootsteps. As we see a man in what seems to be a nice suit. With what seems to be a guitar case. Bald. Black, swirling tattoos across his forehead. His blonde hair cut short. His fangs very pronounced, pale. Walks with a bit of a pep in his step down the streets of Chicago. It's there that will end our session. For now. And I guess that's scene. Really quickly, if we want to do quick opinions about how this feedback on how the sessions went, chat, feel free to give me your things that you liked about the session, things that you didn't like about the session, anything that you think that we can do better on, all of that fun stuff. And what's your favorite moment and what were you most looking forward to? And if you want to just post that in the comment section, if you're watching this on YouTube, cool, do that. And if not, just put it in Twitch chat. If we're still on, we'll see it. And Twitch will be going up for a little while longer and I'll be able to see it because we have to go soon. Oh, really quickly, before we get into debriefs, all of our art here is done by credit.s1. You can see her art in the link tree down below. Check out our YouTube. Our episodes are all backdated on there for this season. So if you want to catch up, then that's cool. And music credits. Yeah. All of our music is done by free use people who allow us to use our music, allow us to use their music. Yeah. But on that note, really quick, feedback from everyone here. We'll start with Hugh.
Since we're not doing pros, cons, favorite moments, just feedback in general.
Yeah,
right?
just quick feedback.
Pretty good session. Honestly, I feel like it flowed well. And, I like all the NPCs, and there were a lot of perspective changes, but I feel like it was done really well this episode.
Thank
And,
you.
it's gotten way better. Because at the beginning it was a little choppy, but now I feel like everything's flowing really smooth. That's about it.
Thank you. Simon.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
We'll open up with your scene, by the way. I didn't want to get too far without Tony.
I mean, that's fine. There's no biggie here. It's kind of how planned it's going to end up anyway, in my opinion. Anyways, pretty good session. I think Switching actually handled pretty well, in my opinion, today.
Oh, thank you.
And, I feel bad for that man, Tim. He had a stressful couple of days,
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's had a rough
that's all
time.
for me.
Okay. Inar.
Yeah, it was a very much an intense session. I enjoyed the switching that you did, the escalating conflict between Simon and Hugh. I felt like that was really tense. So I very much enjoyed that aspect of it. It was surprising as well. So lots of fun.
Awesome. Crimson.
Tim's on my shit list.
He's just trying to help.
I know. I'm gonna have to deal with that. No, I really enjoyed the music. I don't remember who said it, but I think the NPCs were really good this session. It flowed really well.
Oh, wait, thank you. Really quickly, so pros, cons, favorite moment from some of the people. Pros, chemistry is still strong. Cons, scheduling consistencies. Hard to schedule around watching if I have no idea when it's happening. Yeah, I know. We're working on that. I'm sorry. It'll get better, I promise. Love you, Chaotic. Thank you. But on that note, we will see you on the next time. Like I said, feel free to post your whatever feedback in our comment section on YouTube, kind of drive that algorithm up. We want to try to balance out our YouTube with Twitch. So, like, if you're watching this on Twitch, please follow us on YouTube. Please, I beg you. We have like 9 subscribers.
Like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Ring
Yeah,
that bell.
like, ring that
dude,
bell,
I
come on.
hate social media.
If
I
we
hate
get
it so
this amount
much.
of likes, we'll do
Hit
this.
that little heart, guys.
Come on,
I love all of
guys.
you. I hate social media. Love all of you. Hate social media. You as the audience. You guys are great. On that note,
Hit 50
we're-
likes in this video. We'll do
No, shut up.
backflips.
No.
Let's go.
Crimson will eat a ghost pepper if she gets
Yeah.
100 likes on this
If
video.
this video gets 100 likes, I will eat a ghost pepper. And you will all get to see me suffer.
I'm gonna remember
And
this.
storyteller
Yep,
is
and then I have to,
cross-dressing.
yeah, and I will be cross-dressing at 100 followers on Twitch. So
Jeez.
you have that to look forward to. On that note, we gotta get going. I know it's a little early, but yeah, we don't want to get too far without our missing coterie. Oh, anyway, good evening.